view is, let's keep the cap down, and we'll reduce the escrow, we think, to mid-single digits, and hopefully there'll be less concern about it. Other than that, Bill, Coley, did I leave anything out?
We're back here.
Oh, they're back there.
We're watching.
On the right side, leave anything out?
We're good.
We're good. So on that note, I or they will take your questions. Hearing none.
There's been some activity in Seattle. Is possible
Another
round of expansion?
Now, I advised the board, because there had been a lot of media attention to it, as to what was going on with the awarding of the RFP to the Oakview Group, but nobody at this point expressed an interest in moving forward with expansion at this time. I think there's still a little bit of ways to go before they put a shovel in the ground that would make that even real. So no, we're not prepared to right now talk about another wave of expansion.
You've had the change in the ownership situation in Arizona. Is there any optimism that they're going to get a new arena built?
Yes.
The suggestion is that it looks grim to actually get it done.
No, actually, I don't think that's a suggestion, with all due respect. I think what's happened is ownership is in the process of being consolidated, which was a good thing, because sometimes ownership groups don't always perform as efficiently as a consolidated ownership group. And in fact, there have been ongoing meetings, and we believe that ultimately this franchise will get stronger and get a new arena in Greater Phoenix.
Do you have a timetable that this might happen?
This isn't like a 60-minute game. We're not on the clock.
Gary, you talked about the rising revenues. All that within hockey-related revenue? Or something
Yes,
like that?
no, it's hockey-related revenue. The hockey-related revenue has been increasing since the implementation of the system on a very robust and healthy rate relative to any business in any industry. So any notion that there's a problem with revenues is pure fiction. The fact is, and I think you know this, the way the system's designed, the contracts that players have are going to amount to more than the 50%, and the purpose of the escrow is to recapture that. When the union decided it wanted to raise the formula for the cap, we didn't object because we knew it would be recaptured. Maybe they didn't anticipate that the escrow would have or engender the reaction that it has. But what we believe now is that this should take it to the single digits ultimately, and that's a good thing, because we don't want that to be an issue, because the system is working as it was intended.
Gary, are you satisfied about this expansion process put out?
It's what was designed, what was envisioned. It's what the board approved. It's what was negotiated with the Vegas Golden Knights. I think, and Bill can speak more specifically to it, I think it went very smoothly, very smoothly. It's what we expected.
On the anniversary tomorrow, basically award the franchise. When you see what you've done on and off the ice, well, off the ice, does it justify your decision to be more simple?
Actually, Bill, as part of the business reports, gave an update on all that's been accomplished, both on and off the ice with the Vegas Golden Knights, and they've done a spectacular job building the organization from scratch. And I think for the fans of this team here in Las Vegas, to have an opportunity to embrace a professional sports franchise, first one in this city from scratch, is a really special opportunity. And I think it's going to make sure that the roots of this franchise are strong and healthy forever. And it's a testament to Bill Foley and his commitment to Las Vegas, to hockey, the resources he put into it, and the vision that he had. But we're pleased with everything we've seen.
Gary, was there a discussion about future international events or tournaments?
Yeah. Well, actually, what we gave an update as to how our business model is with respect to international, on the media front, on the event front, on building at the grassroots level. Dave Proper gave that presentation. Obviously, we reminded the board that we'll be playing 2 preseason games in China, Beijing, and Shanghai, and that we'll be playing 2 regular season games in Stockholm, Sweden. But you know, in order to have a robust international policy, we need to develop our events, and that's something that we Players Association.
And talk of Olympics,
Actually, what's interesting is a number of clubs commented on how relieved they are at their schedules, the lack of compression, the way we've been able to schedule home games and weekends. And so I did informally get a few of those contracts, but we didn't have any particular update on our Olympic participation.
Have you talked with the VA any further about the international events?
Say no update, no change in the
Ryder Cup style event from Europe?
We told the Players Association, this has been well chronicled, as long as we each have a reopener that's exercisable for September of 20, it doesn't pay to do the World Cup on a 4-year cycle from the last one. Those of you who have long memories and were around, having the planning and execution of the World Cup while you're in collective bargaining and then what might come afterwards if you're not successful in collective bargaining didn't work very well in 2004. And we've told the Players Association, we want to do another World Cup. Either we shouldn't do it that year, or we should both go to our constituents and see about waiving the reopener. And we've not gotten any feedback yet on which approach they'd like.
Do you have a time where you would like to plan these kinds of events?
Yeah, like yesterday. Yesterday. Okay? We certainly would hope that we could collectively make decisions a lot quicker in this regard than apparently we've been able to. We'd like to go, we'd like to do it, we'd like to plan.
Gary, we saw Mr. Karmanos leaving the board meeting room. Anything new in the sale of the Carolina Hurricanes?
No, as we've said repeatedly, there's no urgency, there's no imperative. That sale might not ever take place. Peter has consistently weighed his options since he became the sole owner. As I think many of you know, he had a 50% partner who passed away a number of years ago. And over time, he's considered either bringing in partners or seeing what his options were. There's absolutely nothing new in that regard.
And obviously, next question is coming. Don't get mad at me, but a year ago, Quebec City was not refused. You said it was postponed, or I don't remember the kind of name. Anything new, deferred? Any new development? Any new talks with Quebec?
Developments. I think everybody's been focused on the last year on the process of integrating the Vegas Golden Knights into the league. And as I was asked the question earlier on in this avail about Seattle, we're not now considering an expansion.
With Vegas now in the league, can you come back here and do the awards as you have done the pattern for the last 8 or 9 years? Do you change that now? Will you move it? Will you look at consolidating awards and draft and see what happens now?
Oh, 2 things in there. One, the fact that there's a team here doesn't necessarily impact it, because how many years did we do the award show in Toronto? And last time I checked, there was a team there as well during all those years. I don't think we're prepared, I'm certain we're not prepared to anchor the draft in any one city, because too many of our teams run. Our teams run our events, whether it's outdoor games, whether it's all-star game, whether it's the draft, and even the award show. But in the final analysis, Las Vegas has been a great host for the award show. We've gotten particularly great turnout from the players who have been nominated for the awards, and so we're grateful for the hospitality that we've gotten here. But while we have promised the draft at some point to Las Vegas, we haven't committed to a date. And my guess is we will come here at some point with the draft. We'll probably come here at some point with an all-star game, based on the temperature today. Not so much on the outdoor game, but we wouldn't anchor the draft in any city.
Will you be back here for the awards next year?
We haven't focused that far ahead. And we have an ongoing deal with the Visitors and Convention Bureau. I'm not even sure, as I stand here today, how long that deal runs.
Gary, as unfortunate as the Hosta news was today,
I'm sorry.
as unfortunate as the Hosta news was today, are you concerned that the teams are able to find a way out of the cap recapture?
Oh, and I certainly am more concerned about Marion Hosta's medical condition. I don't think he has got a medical condition so that he and the Blackhawks can deal with the cap. I assume he would play hockey if he could. So, you know, unless we have a reason other than sheer speculation to think something is amiss, I'm not even thinking in those terms. You have a different view, then?
No.
Are you disappointed that, the announcement is tonight about selection of the players for Vegas, and there's already some leaks out there?
My guess is that's a testament to the way all of you assembled here are so good at doing your jobs. I'm not shocked. Would it be nice if it was all unveiled without, by the way, what you have is speculation and rumor, because it isn't official until we announce it. But the fact that a number of you have such good sources and are so persistent and creative that you're finding out some things maybe, that doesn't surprise me.
An illness or something related to that? Or has it only been bodily injury?
Yeah, well, it's a good question, and I don't know. Like, off the top of my head, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the cases we've had.
So you're saying the case has to be evaluated going next?
Correct. I mean, from my point of view, Blackhawks might have a different point of view, but this isn't getting resolved this week. It's not, it's not anything that we really even have to opine on, probably even before July 1st.
What do you think it would be a situation where next season could be a long-term injury reserve thing, and then you evaluate it for the following season?
It really is very fact dependent, and I'm not prepared to speculate on what the facts are.
How's the weather been for you, bud?
It's been fine, because I really haven't spent a whole lot of time outside.
I think based on what you know, that the draft worked out in giving them a competitive advantage.
Well, I mean, I don't think we're trying to give them a competitive advantage. I think we're trying to give them a competitive chance. And yeah, no, I'm even the feedback in the room. While some people, would have preferred different rules, I think everybody was accepting of what we were trying to accomplish and felt good about the process. I don't think the process could have gone more smoothly from our perspective.
Do you think if you eventually expand again, that the rules would change where one GM doesn't have almost total control of the league for a month?
Well, I mean, I had to deal with this issue a little bit at some point. I mean, the only thing that gave them control was the fact that our rules indicated that certain players had to be left unprotected. So clubs didn't have to deal with that. They would have lost a player.
Right.
So, I mean, I didn't feel like there was an imbalance between our existing GMs and George. The rules were the rules. Everybody knew going in he'd have an opportunity to kind of leverage the rules and try to get the best return possible for the future of the franchise, and that's what he did.
Did maybe the length of time help with some of that leverage? Like, I know they got an extra day in this week.
I can't speak for George, but I think he knew where he was going at the when he got the lists on Sunday morning. So I don't think the 72 hours really created any more or less leverage.
Will trades be announced tonight that involve only Vegas and the team they're claiming from?
Yes.
Any deal where Vegas
Any
takes a
subsequent
player,
deal
subsequent
where
deal
they might
would
have
wait
an
till it
agreement.
freezes up tomorrow?
Correct.
Okay.
Have any of those trades been processed, the ones where they're flipping?
No. No, I mean, theoretically, they can't be processed until the first ones were processed.
Right. But that happened this morning.
No, but then you're in a freeze period.
Have you hired any temps to work tomorrow morning?
No, I don't view, I mean, I think the approval process kind of went very smoothly today. A number of transactions were done, processed and approved before the submission this morning. And we had a bunch to clean up after the submission, but, it was done in an hour, 2 hours.
How many did you do today?
Couple?
A handful?
A little more than a handful.
3 handfuls?
A little more than a handful.
Was there any talk about doing an outdoor game internationally?
I wouldn't say, I mean, has there been talk over time of potentially doing that? Yes. Is it part of our current plans anywhere? No.
If a team wants to reacquire a player, is it, I heard 31st of January 2018, is that accurate or is it a full year? How does that work?
No, it's the end of the calendar year.
End of the calendar, December 2.
Bill, Gary mentioned revenues are up. You know the percentage? What they might be up from last
More
year?
than 6.
More than 6.
A lot of young talent in the league now, so yeah, still an age limit here, I guess.
I know you don't have a vote, obviously, but it was a runaway with 164 of 167 first place votes. I'm surprised at how dominant perhaps the voting was based on
Yeah, it's a pretty big surprise to me. I mean, not only Patrick, but I mean Zach to do what he did as a defenseman, 19 years old. It's not easy. I think it's probably the hardest position to play, being that young. So, and then other players that weren't here. I mean, there's such a good rookie class. So it's definitely a big honor to receive this award.
What goes through your mind on a day like today? What does this mean?
Not much. I mean, you just kind of hang out and then get ready. I mean, it's fun to spend it with your family. You're around all the best players in the league, and so it's definitely a fun time.
Is it called a goal of yours this year?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you want to perform individually, but in the end, you want to do what you can to help the team win. And I felt they did a pretty good job at that, and kind of just doing my thing out there and having fun at the same time. Played with a lot of really good players, so we're a young team that's continuing to build and trying to get better every day.
What do you do for an encore?
Sorry?
What do you do for an encore next year?
Yeah, just individually, you want to take a step forward. As a team, you want to take a step forward. Got a taste of the playoffs this year, so we want to continue to push it and obviously achieve that ultimate goal.
A year ago, you were getting ready for the draft in Buffalo, and now this has flown by.
Yeah, it just seems like it was yesterday. It was a little bit more hectic at that time and a little bit more stressful, and it's nice to kind of be able to relax and come to Las Vegas with my family and just kind of enjoy the award show. So it's been fun.
As someone from the desert, just your thoughts on NHL being here in Las Vegas. Is it as unusual to you as it might be to some of us?
It's awesome. I mean, I think it's going to be great. For myself, when the Coyotes moved here, that's how I got into hockey. So, same with teams in California, kind of encouraging kids growing up to pick up a stick and start playing. Definitely go to the game. So I think it's going to be awesome.
How did it feel when you heard your name, and how did it feel to be on stage in front of all?
Like I said, I'm not like a big public speaker, so definitely pretty nerve-wracking going up there, but it was pretty cool.
Chemistry, you got to get that down. Having all new guys going together, and some teams, there's a lot of guys, but the majority of them have played together. I think that chemistry, getting that chemistry down as quick as possible will be key.
How much of that challenge is going to fall on your shoulders? You're one of the more veteran guys that's on the team.
Yeah, I think, obviously we're going to try different things throughout the lineup. And, communication's a huge part. And, for the younger guys that maybe don't communicate as well, you got to help them out by communicating for them and making things easier for them. So, obviously whatever I can do to help get that chemistry there as soon as possible.
What were some of the highlights of playing with the Wranglers? Midnight games?
Yeah, that was interesting, a little different. Taking a pregame nap at 5 at night, something like that. So there's a lot. Obviously I was 21 at the time and living in Vegas, so it was kind of by all the lights and stuff. You're kind of set back, and obviously. Can't really afford too much in the East Coast, so you kind of just sat back and just took it all in. But there's a lot of good memories. Obviously, played with Gully there, and he helped me huge then, and the past years. So a lot of great memories. And
fan support?
Fan support was great. For the East Coast, I think we averaged 5,500, and that's I think it was top 5 in the league or something when I played there. So. The fan support was always great then, and as you can see around the city now, it's there again.
What do you think of the jersey?
It turned out really nice. I like it. Obviously, putting it on, it's a special time for me, and I'm happy with what they did with it.
The thing I'm most excited about, I'm standing in for an organization, and I'm just thrilled for our organization that there's a little bit of recognition going on in the off season for us. I hope it fuels us coming up to our next season, because had a hell of a year, but the hard stuff starts next season. So really good stuff for our organization. That's what I'm so happy about.
Given what you've been through just the last few years, the Vancouver stuff, taking a year out, coming to Columbus, does this feel different in any way than the 04 one does?
I don't even remember the 04 one. It was so long ago, I don't even remember it. I remember the cup, and well, it's been you know, I've done some things here prior to this opportunity that's been very well chronicled that I regret doing in Vancouver and along the way. But you just try to learn. Portsy, you've been with us all year long with our team. I learned a ton from our players the past couple of years. I hope they've learned from me, but I think I've learned more from them. So you're always trying to progress as a coach, and I think sometimes I get pigeonholed and on this and that. I try to block that out, and I just try to go about my business and stay current with the game and what you have to do with your players. And it's been very rewarding with these guys.
32-point improvement from last season. Can you look at this and say this is maybe your best job that you've done with the team?
You know what? I had a pretty good goalie. The guy that's going to win a Vezina out here. I'm not sure if he's been announced or not. He'll win it. He was pretty damn good. I'm not going to give it all to Bob. We have a hell of a team. I really like our team. And a coach is just a guidance counselor. We get way too much credit when we win, and we get way too much credit when we lose. So this is about the players. As I said out there, we've got a good group of guys. So I'm thrilled.
You talked about players a lot. Getting something like this to make you look back at the coaching influences that you had when you started out already.
I was very fortunate to, you know, when I started as an assistant coach, working under John Muckle, who now resides in Naples. I talked to him before the playoffs. He mentored me for 6 years, and I learned a ton from him. I worked under Rick Dudley, one of the hardest working guys I've ever seen. A number of years with him, Jim Schoenfeld. I was hanging with Glenn Sager as we were in New York. So I think as a coach, you kind of have your philosophy, but when you're an assistant coach, and I was an assistant coach for a number of years, you kind of pick and choose what you think fits for you as you watch those guys. I'm very fortunate to have been able to be an assistant coach of some pretty great games.
For the game and how
cool.
John, anything on this Vegas Madness? What do you think about the new team? What do you think about the city?
Well, the city is way too goddamn hot.
Come on, you're from Buggy Country.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure if that's going to be a team, because I think George is going to be doing a few things along the way. We'll see. It's great for the league. You see the turnout here. A little worried about if we come in here a few days before we have to plan what's going to happen, but it's great for the league. And George McPhee, I don't know the owner. I know George pretty well. You're in good hands. He's a good man. And he's solid.
Thank you.
Well, again, this is ongoing with, you know, talking to James a little bit at the end of the year, which was not too long ago, about the possibility, and then, you know, with his agent the last few days, and I was trying to work a deal with George McPhee, but I was unsuccessful to do that. So, you know, it's not perfect. I mean, you know, we're good. He and I are on good terms. I think our coach and all that. It's just he didn't want to go. I mean, I think he thought that Nashville was a home for him, and it's not perfect for him, and it's not perfect for us.
Thank you. When you look, have you had a chance to take a deep breath and look this past season into perspective? It was remarkable in so many different ways for you, for the organization, and for the entire Nashville fan base. And they it's almost like the team wasted money by putting seats down the bowl because no one used them. Nobody sat down.
How good is that? That's good. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you know, again, just coming here this morning, we had an owners meeting. So there's owners, some general managers, team presidents. I mean, everybody, and I mean everybody came up to myself and our ownership there to say something positive about what we had done. It wasn't just, you know, good run or what have you. It was other things, and well, your anthem singers were fantastic. Or I couldn't believe how many people were outside. Or I can't believe how the people stood up the whole game. You know, things like that. I mean, I really truly believe that we have affected the hockey world. I mean, I know how can you you try to get satisfaction of what you do on your job, and like I said to you earlier, I'm really proud of the Nashville Predators right now, our franchise, and all the people that work for us, and for me, it's the highest high that I've ever had. It's been
Any conversation did you have with George as far as
every day for the last week, and then 2 or 3 on some days. He was really good, and he was pretty clear that what it would take, and we talked about many different things, many variations, and you can see as the team is being picked and some of the things that are coming out, and a lot of the deals haven't been announced. I know some, I don't know them all, but he has done a masterful job of getting a competitive team right off the get-go, and also getting a lot of things for the future for this franchise, things that we weren't able to do 20 years ago for the Nashville Predators. So maybe George will be the executive of the year next year. So he's off to a good start.
Do you wish you had the kind of process that's in place now for expansion when you came into the league?
Well, 20 years is a long time to go back, but I think I could say this, not embarrass the National Hockey League, but I think the NHL did it right this time. I mean, if you go back to some of the expansions, a lot of them were kind of unfair, and what that does is when you get a bad business model, and sometimes you don't give a franchise in a new market like Las Vegas to get off the ground correctly. So whether you're in Kansas City or in Colorado the first time, they end up moving, and that's not good. With this model, this year, these guys are going to be competitive, and good for them. Maybe they got too good.
Did you actually stronger on defense?
I don't know the whole list. Down here, I just saw some players. I don't know the whole list, so I'd be happy to comment after I see it all. But I don't know what they totally got. I'd like to see their whole deals, and then I could kind of, as a GM, kind of analyze what he did. But I don't know the extent of everything they did.
Is it good for everyone to come back and play with the support from the organization allowing me to take a leave of absence, to take as much time as I needed, to my teammates battling through, making me feel welcome when I came back. The fans, opposing players that would reach out. I mean, it was very emotional time that we'll always be grateful for the people that mean so much to us, that went through thick and thin with us, that allowed us to get to this point.
If we go back to that Edmonton game, it was very emotional for a lot of people. But remember Cam Talbot and him coming out to see you. Did you know then that everybody was kind of supporting?
Yeah, I mean, I think right from the get-go, the way media, social media is, the league and all the players, everyone's connected in some sort of way that he knew there was support, and he knew that everyone was behind him. What Cam did, he didn't have to stand out there. So I have most respect to him for doing that. I think that's just shows how classy hockey players are, and how much they put, once the game's over, they put that aside, and that's, we're all family.
How's Nicole with all of this? She's usually pretty quiet, right?
Pretty good. Better than me, probably, at this. She doesn't like the attention. She likes to go about her day-to-day routine, and not do a lot of the. Doesn't like to be in the limelight. I think she was shunted into the limelight, not by choice, but she's using it as a message to help others.
Are you worried about going on stage and being emotional today?
No, I think I felt I had my emotions in check for the most part. A little nervous. Public speaking's getting better at it, but I think I think it's almost like you panic up there, and you want to make sure that you you give thanks to everyone. I mean, I'm sure I missed lots of people, but you know, it's one of those things where you just kind of, which I've learned this year, is just stay in the moment as best you can, and you just don't know what tomorrow holds.
She's doing well.
She's doing well.
Just a quick comment about losing Mark.
Great.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a great honor, obviously, to see some of the past winners. I gotta thank my teammates, obviously. I wouldn't be here without those guys. But it's pretty special. I got to be here when Hugh Hibbler won it, and he knew how special that weekend was. So to be a part of this and I get to win it myself is pretty special.
Kept your shoes on.
Yeah, I told myself if I ended up going upstage, that's the one thing I was going to do is keep my shoes on. So, but yeah, Hoods was a great guy, and was happy for him when he won it. And I haven't checked my phone, but I'm sure he texted me already. So it's cool.
Johnny, how big is this? You have your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother here, just to celebrate as a family, and what it might mean to your dad as well, who played the game.
Yeah, it's really special. Obviously playing all the way out in Calgary. My whole family's from New Jersey, so don't get to see him much during the season. So to bring him out here with me, get to spend the time with him, get to be a part of this weekend with them is really special for me and my family. Really tight family, and I know they're pretty excited for me. So my little sister was pretty nervous tonight, but she was excited as well. So like you said, it's just a great week to be a part of. I'm really looking forward to spending some more time with them.
And kind of an interesting night too, on top of the win. But you have Mark Giordano along here with you, and you see Derek England go to the Golden Knights. And I know you had a chance to visit with him as well.
Yeah, obviously Gio, great captain, huge leader. I was really fortunate to have Mark as a captain my first few seasons here. Just learning from him every day is pretty remarkable. I'm sure it's not the last time I'll be up for that award, so it's been great learning from him throughout my first few seasons here. And obviously Derek England, it's tough to see a buddy like that leave. He's a great player. He lives here, he's lived with his family, and it's a little bit closer for him, so I'm sure he's happy about that. But I joke with him, plays cards with us on the table, so I can't steal his money anymore. So, but no, I just wish all the best for him.
Yuri really made this trophy something when he won it, and he really embraced it. And I know the Lady Byng is a prestigious honor. I mean, you guys seem to, the Flames, sort of make this a big one.
Yeah, it's exciting. I feel like anything you're nominated for, any award here is pretty special. All the players, obviously, it's exciting to be here for the week, and to win any kind of award or be nominated for an award, it's pretty special. So I'm happy I'm here, happy got to win this, and have a good night with my family.
What are your thoughts on having the expansion draft here as well as the awards and what it means to the NHL to have the 31st team coming together?
Yeah, it's great. For me personally, I think it's pretty special to be here during this week, to be a part of this week. Watch them draft their team, and obviously a team that we're going to play against a lot, being in Calgary. So it's great. It's great for the league, and I'm excited to play here.
What are your opinions on the city, the hockey culture here, how it will develop?
Yeah, I think it's great. I feel like every time I come here, they're gonna grab some more of my money every time I play. But I think you see the support in the rink tonight. There's some fans out there that are pretty passionate, I guess, already. So I'm sure they'll be a success, and it's going to be exciting to play here.
Boston College will be here later on this year or next year, so a little college, getting here as well. So hopefully hockey will become something, right?
Yeah. I think it's a great start. I think just like I said, the fans here are already pretty excited about it. Walking down the red carpet, you can see all the Vegas T-shirts and everything. So, like you said, BC. I think hopefully they come out here. Hopefully they do well. Obviously, a big supporter of the Eagles there, and hopefully, like you said, the city keeps growing as a hockey city, and have many more years to come.
Speaking of Boston College, from New Jersey to Boston College, and now to this, is this the ultimate for you, or do you want to keep on getting more achievements? And what's the biggest lesson that you've learned this season that you want to take on going forward?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. Like you said, going from a small town in New Jersey to winning an award like this is you know, something crazy that I never thought I'd get the chance to do. And obviously, I feel like no one ever wants to be at the top of their achievements. Obviously, you want to keep bringing them in. So obviously, keep pushing forward. I think everyone can, you know, get better at anything they're doing. So I think this is a good stepping stone for me.